The U.S. Open starts next week, so here are FYB's picks. We'll start with the women first. And I think we're going to have a Serena Williams versus Elena Dementieva final. I think on the top half of the draw where we've got Dementieva, she is going to beat Dinara Safina in the semis. Dinara always makes pretty strong runs in the majors, at least the last year or so, but you can't really count on her later in the tournament. She kind of comes apart mentally. So I think Elena is going to come through on the top half. She's had a great summer. Obviously, there was that epic semifinal between Elena and Serena at Wimbledon, and Dementieva just won the Rogers Cup. So she's playing real well. Her serve is improved, so I think she's going to come through on the top half. On the bottom half of the draw, Serena, I think, is going to beat her sister Venus in the semifinals. Now, both Williams sisters have not been playing very well since Wimbledon, but I don't know how much that matters because they've sort of taken a break during the lesser tournaments before, and then a major comes around and they completely dominate. So I don't see how this year is going to be any different than the past, particularly at the U.S. Open, where the crowd is going to be behind them. So I think Serena gets through on the semifinal, on the lower half of the draw, and then I think Serena is going to beat Dementieva in the final. You can't count Serena out with the New York crowd at the U.S. Open. So I think Serena wins that one. Probably be a tight match, but I think she's gonna repeat this year. On the men's side, I think we're gonna get our first Federer-Nadal U.S. Open final. Now, Federer's quarter of the draw is wide open, and the way Federer is playing, I'd be surprised if he lost a set. Now, in Federer's half of the draw, you have Djokovic and Roddick. They're in a different quarter, and I think Roddick is going to beat Djokovic in the quarterfinals, so he'll get a rematch, a Wimbledon final rematch in the U.S. Open semifinals. I think Roddick's got a little bit more game right now than Djokovic. Djokovic has been playing well, but I think Roddick, having lost those 15 pounds, he's been playing well this summer. I just give him the edge in New York City. Now I think Federer is going to beat Roddick in the semis. Roddick will probably play him tougher than he has in the past, not counting the Wimbledon final, but I just don't see Federer losing if the only person Federer is going to lose to is himself. Let me put it that way. Now, in the bottom half of the draw, you have Nadal, and Nadal actually has an interesting first-round match. He has Richard Gasquet, who is always a threat because the guy's got silly talent, but coming off his suspension, I don't think Gasquet is going to be at the top of his game. Nadal's not at the top of his game, but he still has had some matches. He's been playing for about 3 weeks, and Nadal is just always mentally tough. He's always going to fight, and I just give him the edge there. And then I think once he gets through Gasquet, he's going to have a couple matches to sort of work himself into form. So maybe he faces, Murray in the semifinal. That's actually what I think is going to happen. He'll play Murray in the semifinal, and I think he beats Murray. Now, last year in the semifinals, Murray beat Nadal. But then Nadal adjusted his tactics a little bit in Indian Wells the last time they played, and he waxed Murray. So I think if Nadal is feeling confident, which you would suspect he would be, and his tactics are right, I think he scrapes by Murray. So then we have this Federer-Nadal final, and like I said before, I just don't see Federer losing the way he is playing right now. Nadal in the past has had a little bit of a mental edge, psychological edge, but Federer has adjusted his tactics recently, and we saw that in the Madrid final when he played Nadal very differently than he had previously. And I think with those tactics and the confidence he has now and just the way he's playing, if he executes, he's going to win his seventh U.S. Open. So let me know what you think of my predictions. Post in the comments below, and I look forward to reading them.